It was a regular Wednesday afternoon when my phone rang at work. I looked down and saw my wife's name flashing on the screen. I answered, only to hear her voice breaking through sobs. She kept repeating, "Come home now, please just come home." My heart sank instantly. She sounded terrified, and I dropped everything to rush out of the office. The 30-minute drive felt like hours. My mind kept spinning. Was she hurt? Was there an accident? Did something happen to her parents? The thought of losing her in some tragedy filled me with dread. I pressed the accelerator harder, desperate to reach home. As I pulled into the driveway, I noticed the front door was slightly open. My stomach twisted. I ran inside, calling her name. The house was unusually silent except for faint noises coming from our bedroom upstairs. Something about the sound felt wrong. When I pushed the bedroom door open, the sight in front of me shattered every piece of trust one ever had. My wife was in tears, sitting at the edge of the bed, while another man scrambled to put his shirt back on. She couldn't even meet my eyes. I froze in the doorway, my entire world collapsing in that single moment. I wanted to scream, to break something, to demand answers. But instead, I just stood there, numb and hollow. The man rushed past me without saying a word, leaving me alone with the woman I thought I knew better than anyone. She tried to speak, but her words were drowned out by her sobbing. I finally asked her the only question that mattered: why? She couldn't give me a clear answer. All she said was that she felt lonely, that she thought I didn't notice her anymore, that she made a terrible mistake. But to me, those were just excuses that cut deeper than silence would have. Every memory we had together replayed in my mind, the vows, the laughter, the trust. All of it now tainted. I couldn't stay in that room any longer. I walked out, ignoring her pleas for me to listen, ignoring the sound of her running after me. The drive away from the house was even heavier than the drive there. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel, my eyes burning. I kept thinking about how just an hour ago, my biggest concern was a project deadline at work. Now, my marriage was in ruins. I spent the night in my car, unable to face friends or family, unable to admit what had happened. Sleep never came. I just kept replaying the image of her with him, every detail burned into my mind. That image became a wound that refused to close. When I finally returned home the next day, the house felt like a stranger's. She was there, waiting, begging for forgiveness. But every time she reached for me, I pulled away. The trust was gone, and I didn't know if it could ever return. Over the next few weeks, we tried to talk. She said she wanted to fix things, to earn back my trust. But the more she tried, the more I realized I couldn't erase what I had seen. Her tears no longer moved me, they only reminded me of the pain. I eventually decided to leave. Packing my bags felt like burying a part of myself, but staying would have been like living inside the memory of that betrayal every single day. I told her I couldn't live in a marriage built on broken trust. Even now, months later, the sound of her crying voice on that phone call haunts me. I once thought it was fear or danger. I never imagined it was the sound of my marriage falling apart. And no matter how much time passes, I don't think I'll ever forget what I saw that day. That moment didn't just end a marriage. It ended the version of me that believed love alone could protect against betrayal. What I found in my own home still lingers in my mind, a shadow I carry wherever I go.